Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hartz, and today I'll be breaking down the big 13-game NBA slates we have here on DraftKings for Wednesday night. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, as it does really help out my channel, pushing my video out there, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could hit that like button and subscribe, would greatly appreciate. Want to get that, hopefully by this weekend. That'd be huge. So thank you guys for hitting the like button and subscribing. I'll be talking over my favorite spin-up plays, some mid-range options, and some value plays for tomorrow's 13-game slate. Obviously, this is an early look. Everything changes with injury news, all the moving pieces, all that good stuff. So yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the 13-game breakdown. Before I get into the breakdown, just want to say follow me on Twitter at HeartDFS. Answer any questions you guys have, talk NBA DFS, NFL DFS. My Patreon, you can find it through my link tree if you click right there, or you can hit my, I'll just keep pinning it to my Twitter profile. So if you click on it, obviously it pulls up my free Patreon, where I go a little bit a deeper dive into the pay up options I like for the slates. I kind of write about it, give their season usage stats, and I put up my building blocks and value plays. In the future, I'll start updating it up until lock, but as of right now, it's just more kind of, helping you guys set your framework, set your mind for the upcoming slate of that day. So for today, yesterday's obviously was great. Today, the building blocks are looking real nice. Reggie's doing decent right now. Anthony Simons is, came out hot in that first quarter. Beer Coffee, okay, but he's obviously a value play. And then if you played Steph or Luka or both, you're off to a hot start. Even Isaiah Stewart. So the core building blocks, once again, are very, very good past 2 days straight. So yeah, definitely make sure to follow me there. Don't be bashful to, sign up for the Patreon as well and follow me. It's free, once again. So yeah, check that out. It'll be a daily thing. Follow me on Twitter, and let's take a quick look at my lineup right now. It's halftime, it's halftime for that Portland and Clippers game. As you can see my lineup, I end up going with Steph and Luka. Steph was a little disappointing. They really couldn't hit any shots on that team, so kind of hurt his upside there with assists. He obviously did pretty well scoring the ball. Could have shot a little bit better, but yeah, 46 isn't too bad. Beer Coffee, not doing too well. Got 0 stats in the first quarter. Picked it up a little bit in that second quarter, so hopefully he has a better second half. Winslow, kind of doing Winslow things. Stewart, part of the core builds. And obviously I switched off Anthony Simons to get, Luka in. It was worth it. I wish I would have, kept Luka in and then switched off to Steph to Anthony Simons, but oh well. What can you do? But, hopefully you guys played him. Kevon Looney, Luka, Covington, and Powell. So we'll see. I'm winning a little bit of money right now. We'll see how I end up. Hopefully, have like a 5 times night. 5x, that'd be huge. But let's get down to this 13-game NBA slate. Long one, big one. Pause. Let's get into this breakdown. So, Philadelphia side, we have them going against Cleveland. Obviously, not the best game environment to get pieces from. But, Joel Embiid, he's just there for me, 11-4. He's been fantastic. Everything is going to flow through him. We'll have to see if, what's his name? If Jared Allen he'll be out. So that does help Joel Embiid, obviously, because Jared Allen's pretty good defensively. Having, Evan Mobley on Embiid, love that matchup for Embiid. So I do like him a good amount as a spend up. Tobias Harris, Melton are just kind of there for me. There's no necessity. I can't even talk to get to them. Shake Milton has been fantastic the past 4 games. If you want to ride the hot streak, you can, but now he's getting up to that price where, everything's kind of going to flow through Embiid. So, paying up for one of these other guys is not like the best thing to do. So don't think you need to do that. Paul Reed, minutes are just kind of over the place, with Embiid back. Really don't see the need to go down to any of these value plays because they're all kind of priced up. It's really just Embiid for me. And I guess if you want to take a shot on Shake Milton, even though that'd be very risky. On the Cleveland side, Garland, Mitchell, they're kind of there for me. Don't mind getting into them. I prefer getting into Mitchell just because he's a little bit more aggressive scoring the ball. Mobley going up against Embiid, I don't love it. Mobley does have, a higher upside with Jared Allen off the floor, playing that 5, has a ton of rebound opportunities now, has a double-double upside. So you can definitely go to him. He's not too foul prone, but, obviously going up against Embiid, you don't love that matchup. So he'd just be more of a contrarian play there. People are going to fade him because of that matchup. So you can definitely go to him. He does have some upside. Do like him a little bit. Love and Allen still going to be out. So that means we're going to get, Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, LeVert, and Dean Wade most likely starting in the lineup. So I think LeVert and Dean Wade make for, decent value plays. Obviously, LeVert kind of be that, maybe be that third scorer behind Garland and Mitchell. You don't feel great about it. So he's just more of a dart throw at 4,800. Dean Wade is solid value, solid 28 minutes. Should see about 25, if not more. Shot 3 of 10, so he was aggressive when he was out there alongside the other guys. So I do like him a good amount there as a nice value play at 3,900. Lamar Stevens, will get minutes, but he's not productive at all. Don't think you need to force that. I do like Seti. So, Seti and Dean Wade look like the best value plays on this team for Cleveland. On to Atlanta and Orlando. Great matchup here for Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. I just prefer getting to Trae Young. DeJounte has just been bad the past few, week and a half, 2 weeks. If you want to buy low on him, you can, but I do prefer getting to Trae. Clint Capella, I do like him a good amount here. The minutes have been pretty solid on him. He does have double-double upside, so I don't mind firing up Clint Capella there at 6,400. Orlando's not the best shooting team, so they should shoot the ball a ton. John Collins, just kind of there, 2 good games. I don't really trust it. Only shot 8 times, still got you 40 fantasy points. 4 blocks, 2 steals. A little bit of an outlier. Don't want to chase that. Hunter, same thing. I guess he's an okay player there at 5,300. Bogdan is questionable. Most likely not going to play, so he's not back yet. So we'll get, Al-Kung'u. We should see, 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously, if Clint Capella ever gets in foul trouble, you could take that dart throw on Kung'u. Adrian Griffin should see about 15 minutes off the bench. Really no interest in any of these value guys. I know Justin Holiday, could have a good shooting game, but it's really just forced. It's really just the top 3 guys, and that's really it. And if you want to get super risky, go to John Collins. On to Orlando. Paolo looks great here, 8,200. Really like him going up against either John Collins or Clint Capella. We know the offense is going to flow through Paolo, playing huge minutes, 39. Should get ample amount of opportunities to shoot the ball. He's great at everything. So do like Paolo a good amount there. Price is coming down a tad. Wendell is still going to be out. So that does help Paolo, obviously. Bol looks decent. Don't love the price on him. I think he's just kind of there for me. Same thing with Franz. He does have some upside, but he's really hard to kind of, pin on when he's going to have a good game. Bamba was out last game. Maybe he's back this game. That kind of eats into some other value guys. But yeah, Bamba at 6,100. Don't love that. Cole Anthony is back. So it'd be interesting to see if he's on a minutes limit. If he's not, do like him a good amount there. Markelle Fultz is back. Would assume he sees 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe he's not on a minutes limit. But yeah, I really like Paolo. And then from there, I guess you could take a shot on one of the point guards, whichever one's going to start and play more minutes. But, Mo Wagner saw some minutes. Gary Harris, was started and played 36. If he's going to get that again, do like him a good amount there. RJ Hampton should be out of play with those guards coming back. And maybe it hurts Gary Harris a little bit as well. So let's see how they kind of handle that starting guard situation. But kind of a clouded team besides, Paolo at the top. Moving on to Miami. Jimmy is still out. So Bam going against Boston. Not the best matchup. Obviously, he's going to have more of, more on his plate to be able to do offensively without Jimmy, but don't love the price tag against Bam. Kyle Lowry, kind of there for me, just kind of there. No real strong take. Tyler Hero is questionable. If he's good to go, I don't mind him at 7,200. He's been decent recently, even though he can't hit a shot right now. It's just the minutes are great. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. Does have some, that double-double, triple-double upside if he's, really playmaking. But yeah, not a lot of love on this Miami side. There's also a bunch of guys who are questionable. So we'll have to see kind of how this plays out. But right now, if with Bam and Kyle Lowry most likely there, I guess I prefer getting to Kyle Lowry to kind of shoulder the offense if Tyler Hero's out. And then we'll have to see about the rest of these guys. But yeah, pretty much the whole team is questionable, which is super annoying. Moving on to Boston. We know we're getting from Tatum at 10-8. He's just a very, very solid spend-up play. Jaylen Brown is questionable. Obviously, if he's out, Tatum looks like a great spend-up play. If he's back, not a ton of interest in Tatum. A pretty slow-paced matchup here, even with all those Miami guys questionable. You can definitely get to Jaylen Brown. Still has upside there at 8,400. But not a lot I like on the side of, both of them are playing. We know the offense will just go through both of them, so Smart would just be more of that random tournament play. Kind of limited upside. Al Horford should be back. He looks okay there at 5,500. Not a lot I like. Brogdon, I guess, is always worth a dart throw. He missed one shot. 21, 5, and 6, and still only got you 36 fantasy points, which is solid at 5,300. But still, the minutes are just not great on him. It'd take Derek White out of play, who's had a good game in the last game. So yeah, not a lot I like if both those stars play. On to Milwaukee, 12-4 for Giannis. It just depends on if we get enough value to get up to him. I love Drew Holiday here at 7,300. Now, his minutes have kind of been all over the place recently. Now he has struggled with some injuries. So maybe he's kind of ramping back up from that 23, 30, 28, 36, 23, 34. So yeah, I just love him because we know with Chris Middleton still out, even though they do have guys like, Devon Carter, kind of being able to handle a little bit more of the load, of the backup point guard duties. But, Drew Holiday should see 30 plus minutes. He should go out there, shoot 15 plus times. Not the best shooter at times, but 7,300 is a very solid price tag to take a shot on Drew Holiday now. Middleton's still out. I do like Bobby Portis good amount here at this price tag. It finally came down. He's a double-double machine. He can definitely get hot from the field. He's not going to go out there and shoot a ton, but, he could definitely get you close to that 40 fantasy point mark, if not more. So I do like him there at 6,400 coming off the bench. Brook Lopez just kind of there for me. He's been solid this year. Carter, Allen, Connaughton. Grayson had a good shooting game last game. 4,900, he's an okay play. Carter, he's been decent recently. I don't think you have to chase. Would rather take a shot on Drew. And then Connaughton, seen about 10-ish, 15 minutes right now. So yeah, not a lot of interest in the value there. On to New York. Randall Brunson, Barrett. I still prefer getting to Barrett, even though he's been the worst out of the three so far, just because of that price difference. But they all look, pretty decent. Not the best matchup here going against Milwaukee. So they're more just contrarian plays. I prefer getting to RJ and Randall. Most likely RJ, just because I don't trust Randall guarding Giannis, and I don't trust Brunson getting guarded by Drew Holiday. Just not the best matchups for either one. Quickly should see 25 minutes, maybe even a little bit more, kind of around that mark. So I do like him as a tournament option there. Not the best night tonight from him. Mitchell Robinson does seem a little bit too cheap here, but going against Giannis, he could get switched off on him and get in foul trouble. So he's very, very foul prone. But once again, he's too cheap there at that price. So if you want to take that risk, you can. Cam Reddish should see about 15 to 20 minutes. Grimes had a good game, also blew out, so he saw a little bit more minutes. So I guess you could go to him as a value play. That's really it. D Rose saw about 25 minutes. Game did blow out, so he saw a little bit more run. But yeah, not a ton of interest in the value there. Washington, Brooklyn, great game environment for both teams. Beal looks decent. Just still don't love that price tag for him there. Porzingis coming off a huge game, 41 real life points. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with these Washington guys. Obviously, it's a great game environment, but they're all just kind of priced up to the point where it's like I don't love playing them. Kuzma's been great the past 4 games. If you want to ride that hot streak, you can, but it's just one of those things. Don't feel great about the price. But yeah, I don't mind any of those 3. The rest of the team, not a lot of interest. Denny coming back down to earth. Morris, kind of there. I guess you could take a shot at him at 4,700. Not bad. Kispert, everyone else kind of just no interest really. They're kind of priced up a little bit too much. Goodwin, I guess you could take a shot there. His minutes have been consistent and solid recently. He's been a decent fantasy point per minute guy too. So I guess he'd be my favorite value play on that Washington side. I guess Will Barton's kind of there too. But yeah, not a lot of interest in Washington. Brooklyn, KD makes for a great, obviously, spend-up play coming off a huge game last game. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter or watch my videos, you already know. Ben Simmons is out. Claxton looks solid here at 5,800. Royce O'Neal, 5,400. He looks like a good play there. Seth Curry, should see about 25 minutes off the bench, score independent. It looks like a decent value play, 4,200. Joe Harris should see about 20-ish minutes, 25, depending on how he's shooting. He's there at 3,800. Expect Markieff Morris to get a few more minutes now that Ben Simmons is out. Maybe they dust off some of these other guys. We'll have to see, but it's really just kind of Durant, Irving, Claxton for me. I guess Royce O'Neal too. And then if you want to get to the value of Seth, you can. But yeah, that's about it. Spurs side, Vassell, Keldon. Prefer getting to Keldon just because he's cheaper. Not sure why Vassell's that expensive. Doesn't really make sense, but obviously a great matchup here going against OKC. Podol's still out, so we'll get Zach Collins. He's a very solid point per minute guy. Who started for Podol? I don't even remember. So Zach Collins, who got hurt in that lost game. So Zach Collins looking like a very, very good play there at 4,500. Should see, I'd say, at least 25 minutes. Now, we can't be certain with Pop. He could go out there and only play 20 minutes, but he's a very solid point per minute guy. So do like him. We're going out there at 4,500 as of right now. Do like Keldon Johnson there at 7,100. Trey Jones kind of just there for me, coming off a huge game against the Lakers. Don't trust that or love that. Richardson should see about 20-ish minutes. He's also questionable. Bassey should fill out the secondary, backup center, 40,000. He's a very decent point per minute guy, as you can see from the beginning of the season. So I do like going with him. If you want to get off like a chalky Zach Collins, you could definitely look to a Bassey. Bates Diop, questionable. I would assume he sees around 20-ish minutes. Dog, decent point per minute. He's a shooter. He's kind of like a Seth Curry play, but 3,600. He should see, 20 or more minutes. Don't mind going to him. So yeah, a good amount of value from the Spurs side. On the Orlando side, OKC side, SGA looks great here at 10,000. Whoops. Let's get back to him. We know what we're going to get from him. It just depends on he plays. If he doesn't play, obviously it screws up this whole team. Absolutely be a nightmare. So hopefully he plays. Let's just assume he's in for now. Josh Giddey, all over the board right now with his play. So decent price tag. It's just, he's very up and down right now. Lou Dort is kind of there. Poku, seeing about. It's just, as I said, it's a mess trying to figure out this rotation for any of these guys besides SGA. Don't love it at all. It's just so random. I guess you can take a shot on any of these guys. JRE has been solid recently. Jalen Williams is always going to be decent value there. But it's like Kenrich seen about 20 minutes. Basley, man, it's just, I guess JRE is my favorite value play right now. I hate OKC right now. They're just so annoying. Toronto and the Pelicans, I love Pascal as a spend up. Saw 30 minutes, was limited. But he was very, very solid. 40 fantasy points, 18, 11, and 5. We know he has a huge, huge ceiling. As we saw at the beginning of the year, Pascal is fantastic. Has triple-double upside. So even if he's on a minutes limit, I don't mind taking a shot on him. If he's not, love him as a spend up going against the depleted Pelicans. OG, Scotty, too priced up for me. Don't think you need to go there. I do like Van Fleet a good amount too. 7,500. Pretty decent price tag on him. He's going to play huge minutes. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. Hasn't been shooting well recently from 3. But even if he does, bad, he should still get you at least 2 steals a game. Should be able to get a bunch of assists and rebounds. So I do like him a good amount. 2 of my favorite plays on that Raptors side. Boucher, Gary Trent are just kind of there. Thad Young. Really no need to go to anyone else on this team besides Pascal and Scotty, or Pascal and Van Fleet. On the Pelican side, Zion is going to be the top guy once again. He looks decent. Don't really trust him going against this solid, Toronto defense. So he's just kind of there for me. Not a priority. CJ, questionable. We'll have to see if he plays. If he plays, I do like him a good amount. If he's out again, we're gonna have to look to Jose Alvarado, Devontae Graham. You could definitely take a dart throw on him. Was not great the past 2 games. Kind of limited on minutes. That's one of those spots where people are gonna see that, the field's gonna see that, and they're not gonna play him. They're just gonna lock in Jose, who's actually been decent. But I'd still get to Graham over that just ownership percentage and difference. So keep an eye on that. Daniels played 28 minutes. He's a decent point per minute guy. Najee, if he's back, should see a good amount of run. Don't mind him. Nance is questionable. He's out. You can definitely take a shot on him. Maybe they go smaller, kind of like the Toronto Raptors like to do. And that really hurts J-Val, who is just more of a very, very random dart throw play. He's just not been good this year. They're limited on minutes, even when they're depleted. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out on that CJ news. It kind of changes up the whole strategy there if he's in or out. John Morant looks great. Bane's still out. I really like Jaren Jackson Jr. The minutes are coming up. He scored 20 points every game he's been back so far, besides that first one. So, do like him. Now he's seen 30-plus minutes, or at least 30. Do really like him a good amount. Books is questionable. Steven Adams, just a tournament option there. Do have a little bit of interest in him. That's really it. Not a lot of interest in any of the value guys. Minnesota side, I would have a little interest in the value guys if Brooks is out, but right now let's just assume he's in. Minnesota, obviously the huge news is Towns is out, so most likely Gobert slides to the 5. D'Lo, Anthony Edwards still going to be there. Going to get huge usage bumps. I'm assuming maybe Kyle Anderson starts. We'll have to see. But I would assume, maybe they run with Kyle Anderson to 4, go a little bit smaller. Maybe Naz Reid slides in. But really a good amount of interest in all these Minnesota guys. Obviously, I prefer Anthony Edwards, but I think they all look great, the whole starting 5. Edwards looks great. D'Lo looks great. Even Rudy looks great. Can't believe I'm saying that. Powell had a great game in that blowout. Didn't miss a shot basically. So do like Kyle Anderson, a good amount there. Should see a good amount of minutes. He saw 28. Naz Reid, solid point per minute guy. Minutes should be into the 20s now. He's a great player at 3,200. So a lot of value is coming from this Minnesota side. On to Houston and Denver. Little rematch from the other day. KPJ, Jalen Green, just kind of there for me. Sengun, it's kind of the same thing. No real interest in any of these Rockets guys. Now, if you wanted to get to someone, maybe you can get to one of the value plays. Just not a lot of interest, any of these guys. I guess maybe Sengun would be my favorite play there just because it's price tag. But not a lot of interest in Houston. On the Denver side, Jokic looks great once again. Obviously, a repeat of the matchup. They destroyed him the last game. He almost got 60 lost minutes there. But he looks great as a spend up. Jamal Murray, I don't mind running back here. He went off for 31 real life points, 46 fantasy points, back-to-back, 40-plus fantasy point games, past 3 out of 4. So he's been heating up. Do like him a good amount there at 7,200 in this matchup. You really want to target Houston. Rest of the team, just kind of there for me. You can go back to Bruce Brown. He burned a lot of people in that last game. Only 26 fantasy points. He was pretty decently owned if MPJ is out. But if MPJ is back, looks like he's out. So you definitely run it back with Bruce Brown. Him, Murray, and Jokic are my favorite plays. No need to get to anyone else. I guess Ish Smith is a decent point per minute guy, value play. But once again, game blew out, so you saw about 13 more minutes than he usually would. But you can take the dart throw there. That's about it. Clippers in Utah. We have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard still out. So that means obviously Zubac, Morris, Jackson, Mann, and Coffee are going to start. Prefer getting to Jackson and Powell. We'll see how the game turns out tonight to make more of an educated guess tomorrow because, Covington was doing decent. I still prefer getting to Mann, Powell, and Jackson. Zubac is kind of there. Don't mind him at 6,400. Obviously a decent matchup against Utah. A little bit of interest in Clippers. Utah, not a lot of interest here on this side. I guess Beasley and Sexton would be my favorite plays, but with the value opening up in the previous games, don't really think that it's a need to get to kind of these mid-range guys. It's really just more stars and scrubs slate. Chicago, I do have an interest in the big 3 once again. They all look great at their price tags. Pat Williams, solid value play there. DeSumo, Caruso are questionable. Obviously, they're out if it really bumps up Dragic and White. So Kobe looks like a great value play there, 3,200. Score independent, but he could definitely go off, have a decent game. So I don't mind taking a dart throw on him. On the Phoenix side, D-Book, don't know why he was so low in the last game. He had a huge monster game, 10,000, 41 minutes. I said in my Patreon how he could go off for probably 35 real life points in that matchup. Went off for 44. So I don't love the price tag of 10,000. Chris Paul is still out. It's the Bulls. You love targeting the Bulls, but it's an okay spin up play for me, I guess. Don't mind running back with him. I mean, the offense does flow through him. Aiden's a little too pricey for me, even though he's been good recently. The rest of the team is just kind of there for me. I guess you can get to one of these other secondary pieces if you want. I just think it kind of seems forced with all the value coming out today. Just really Devin Booker for me. Indiana, once again, Halliburton's too cheap. We saw what he did against the Lakers. Even if he shoots the ball well or if he shoots it poorly, it seems like his floor is at least 40. He's assuming, 60 plus if he's really hitting his shots. So I love Halliburton once again here in this matchup against the Kings. Great team to target. Turner looks very solid as well. I do like buying low on Buddy Hield, 6,200. Hasn't been shooting the 3 at all or well at all. 1 of 10, 3 of 11, 5 of 8, decent, but then 1 of 9, 1 of 6. So do like buying low on Buddy Hield. His price is really plummeting. Rest of the team there, Jalen Smith's always that dart throw. If he plays 30 minutes, he should be a very, very solid play. If he doesn't, he's going to screw you. So it's just, very kind of coin flip there. Nembhard, I guess, okay value play. McConnell, okay, dart throw value play. It's really just the top three for me. On the Sacramento side, do have a good amount of interest in Fox, Sabonis, and Monk. Rest of the team just kind of there for me. We know we're getting for Sabonis. We really just hope he shoots the ball more. If he does, he has massive upside. Fox kind of down on a little bit of a cool down here past 3 games, but he does have good upside, so don't mind going to him at 9,000. Great matchup here between Indiana and Sacramento. Game environment, love that. Monk, always a great GPP play, 30 minutes. Saw what he did last game, 44 fantasy points, so 4,900 is great price tag on him. Keegan Murray, 3,800. Minutes are decent, so I don't mind taking a shot on him as a decent value play. Yeah, that's really it. Kind of just the main guys for me. I guess Herter, kind of that boomer bust play. You could look to him, coming off a decent game shooting there. Oh yeah, I don't mind Herter. He's been solid recently. Moving on to Portland and Lakers. Last game, we have Simons, 8,200. I think he was doing well tonight, so don't mind running back with him. Grant gonna be that secondary scorer, 7,100. We'll see how he plays tonight. I think he's playing decent, so do have a good amount of interest both of them. Nurk, just more of a contrarian play going up against Anthony Davis. Don't love that. He is pretty foul prone. Josh Hart just there. Winslow, decent value play. He should play about 30 minutes, if not more. That's really it on the Portland side. On the Lakers side, Anthony Davis and LeBron look great at their price tags. Not real priority. I guess I prefer getting to Anthony Davis. He's been more consistent recently, but their ceilings are kind of limited to playing alongside each other. Russ is just there, just kind of as a contrarian play. Not playing a ton of minutes with both those guys back. Lonnie's just kind of there. It really takes the interest out of everyone besides, Anthony Davis and LeBron when they're both playing. So I guess Dennis Schroeder would be an okay value. His price tag is kind of rose up a little bit. So yeah, not a lot of interest in those guys. Let's go back through it and kind of just go over my core plays. Let's see here. What was it? I think it was Miami was one of the teams. There's a lot of question marks. San Antonio and OKC. I think that was the other one. Oh, San Antonio. So, you can go Bassie or where is he? Oh, I already have Zach Collins in there. We'll just throw both of them in there for now. Obviously don't think I'd play both of them. Really destroys your upside, but they're both there. I do like Pascal a good amount if he's going to be not on a minutes limit, so what to wait on and see on that. Obviously what to wait and see on the Pelicans news. Minnesota side, really like I like Kyle Anderson a good amount, and then going to throw in Anthony Edwards, and then going to run it back with Jamal Murray. So right now, this is kind of where my interest lies. Obviously, there's a good amount of injury news we kind of have to keep an eye on for the slate. But right now, really like running back with Jamal Murray there. Anthony Edwards going to have a huge load on his shoulders when it comes to the offensive end for Minnesota. Really like Kyle Anderson kind of filling in. Probably is that backup starting four. 4 of them now should see 25 minutes. You could definitely get to Naz Reid off the bench. You play some of Zach Collins, like Pascal. So there's a lot to like for tomorrow. Can't wait. Stay tuned for my write-up tomorrow. I'll kind of zone in on my favorite plays once we get more news. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notification bell. See you guys in the next video. Peace.